Incoming right there. Incoming right there.
All right, hey everybody, welcome to our Military Monday live stream. I'm here on hanging out in the Tactical Rifleman studio. I got Steve Holland. He's coming in tonight. I'm actually watching him on the security cameras. He's still wandering down the stairs and stuff. So Steve will be in here in just a minute. We got a different sponsor tonight right here, Infinity Targets. You guys are familiar with them, right? They're one of those self-healing rubber targets. Now, so if you don't want to shoot steel, for example, self-sealing rubber targets, they guarantee up to 110 rounds of 5.56 per square inch. So you just hit it with spray paint. You can see the bullet strips the paint off as it goes through, leaves you with a nice, easy to spot, precise mark. Easy to clean up again because it instantly heals. Just hit it with some more spray paint, seals it back up. Good to go, good to go. Great stuff. Anyways, you want to check them out, you can go to infinitytargets.com. I want to thank them for sponsoring us tonight. We're going to have to get a couple of these targets for our range out here. It'd be good to use at classes. This stuff's a lot lighter than hauling around steel targets. That's kind of cool. Ooh, still a little hot. That's some good coffee right there, guys. Good coffee. 8 shots of espresso and then a little bit of Italian cream frothed up. Makes for an awesome thing. Hey, while we're waiting on Steve real quick, it's Monday, so I don't have my usual moderators. We got JT flying the helm here for a while, so don't be picking too hard on my moderators. Still the deal. If you guys got questions, just put them in the chat room. All right, and we're not going to do super chats tonight. We're going to just let you guys leave your comments there, and JT will pull the comments and send them to me. If it's a legitimate question, he'll send it to me. Too easy. So start getting those good questions together for Steve Holland real quick. He'll be in here momentarily. But before Steve gets here, I want to give you guys a shout out. I just had a couple of students back out of our Tactical Precision Rifle 101 class, family issues, things like that. That's okay. So anyways, that is 17 and 18 May. That's not this week, it's the following week. And again, that's Tactical Precision Rifle 101. We're going to be doing it down at the Tiger Valley range, which is kind of outside of Waco, a little east of Waco. A great sniper wonderland down there. They've got a tower, they've got 1,000-meter KD, known distance range, where we can do moving targets and everything. And then the unknown distance range is just totally awesome. I got Sularu, the famous military sniper. He's going to be my assistant instructor for that. Sue's going to be sharing a technique that he uses for basically set the gun at 400 meter zeros and then holdovers, hold unders. We're going to be getting into all kinds of the effects of environmental conditions on your time of flight and trajectory of the bullet. Good stuff. So if you have that PDA, that program, that ballistic calculator, that's cool. But we're going to get into how that ballistic calculator actually comes up with that math, right? So it's a great time indeed. And anyways, I want to fill those slots because I like having certain size classes. So what I've done is I have put that class on sale. You go to tacticalrifleman.com. And anyways, it is $550, and that again, that's for the whole course. That's the whole time you're there. So big sale on that. I don't like putting classes on sale, but this is one of those where I was like, I got enough people coming. I'd like just a couple more to justify me having my extra instructors there, because I'm also going to have Coach from Texas A&M there. And we're going to have a couple of his cadets attending. Going to be a great course. So anyways, if you're interested, tacticalrifleman.com. You can go to the store, go right to courses, or you can go to the calendar of May and pull it up again. That is 17 and 18 May down at Tiger Valley, east of Waco. It's going to be a great course indeed. I only run that course one time down there. It's going to be a good time. Really good Good time. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I have had a long week, guys. Our classes last week ran all the way through Saturday afternoon. We did a medical course. We did Combat Pistol 101, Combat Pistol Carbine, and then this new course called Just the Tests. And we ran them all back to back to back. And yeah, I'm wore out, but that's what I signed up for. So you guys know the deal. I enjoy teaching. So you've got Sunday off, Carl, right? Okay, yeah, not really. Got a bunch of other stuff to take care of. Today should be my first day of the work week. It was. Play a little bit of catch up on computer work. And then, what's this? Right. Anyways, getting stuff together for my next trip. I leave tomorrow right after a ortho appointment. I'm going up to Chicago. So I'll be up there a few days. We're going to be doing some designing of ranges up there, stuff like that. Get my Jeep checked out. All in all, good stuff indeed. Let's see what I got here. I'm scrolling down, guys. I'm checking my sound thing. It looks like you guys can hear me all right, but I'm clipping a little bit. I'm going to dial it down just a little bit so I'm not clipping quite so bad. All right. I think we're good. Looking at the cameras, Steve's still not moving. Okay. Heard the door, and there he is, passing in front of the... There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, the legend, the infamous,
the wannabe,
Steve Holland. And he brought 2 pair of sunglasses. Awesome stuff. Awesome. How you doing, Steve?
Good, Carl. How you doing,
I am doing good, brother. I'm gonna slide over, give you a little bit of room here at the table of woe. How you doing?
Good. TR Nation.
I appreciate you coming short notice for a Monday, dude.
That's okay, brother. You know how much
Yeah.
I love doing the show with you. I enjoy all the viewers and subscribers.
Enjoy it.
TR Nation.
Everybody loves
You
having
guys
Steve
just
here.
you pick me up. Just looking forward to interacting and doing fellowship with you.
Good stuff indeed. We've got our usual posse here. Our natives, our loyal viewers. They're like, why a Monday? But that's all right. Here's the deal. See, they're already saying. See, nobody says Carl's awesome. Everybody's saying Steve is awesome. Okay,
Big physique.
So Carl's
Big
not awesome, but
physique.
Steve is awesome.
Big P.
That's why I bring Steve on here for the ratings.
Rob.
Okay, that's fine. I'm completely good with that.
I'm good with it.
Always love having Steve here. Last week we were at the Leatherwood Distillery. Whew.
With our special guest, Mr. Master Sergeant Retired Kim Breed, the custom
those are
knife
some
maker.
Pretty awesome knives.
And a writer for Blade Magazine for years now.
All right, I got.
And then, of course, we had Ray Hodge from Red River Tactical, custom kydex, holsters and knife sheaths, and anything else you can think of in kydex.
All right, I've got a question. This one's actually from me because you weren't here yet. This is from Colby Dixon. Good evening, Carl. Thank you for doing these live streams every week. On your Instagram post today, you mentioned that your tattoos weren't real. Why is that? I assume that you were doing low-vis ops. Now, actually... So Nicholas posted a thumbnail, and I asked Nick to, hey, post an old Army picture. So my son Nicholas went on our share drive that's got probably 3,000 pictures filmed from Fallujah and the Joff and everything else. He grabbed one of my guys, is Leslie Lee. I don't know if you remember Leslie Lee.
No.
Anyways, Leslie Lee was one of my sniper cell leaders when I was team sergeant. And anyways, that's Leslie Lee. We are on, I want to say we were on the 3rd story of a building. We had knocked a couple loopholes in walls. No electricity means no air conditioning. So it was balls ass hot. At night, it was 98 degrees at night. So using the thermals, you couldn't see a human being. You could see trash blowing. You could see curtains blowing. Anything that was 98, 99 degrees, you couldn't see. So they were worthless. But during the day, it was about 110, 120, 130 sometimes, and no air coming through the building because some of those rooms didn't have windows. And we were 2 rooms back inside of the building because there was an enemy sniper out in a parking garage to our front. And he had an SVD with armor-piercing rounds. And those rounds would go through one wall. So if he saw something move in a room, he would just plug holes through the wall. So there were SEALs, a couple SEAL snipers, a room above us. And they had a jacket shot that was hanging over a shirt, hanging over a chair, drying out. They had a helmet shot. So anyways, we didn't play that game. We knocked 2 loopholes deep. In other words, we had a hole in that wall, but then we put a hole in this wall also, and we got 2 rooms back. And so we're looking through a loophole, looking through another loophole at the parking garage. And that's what Leslie Lee's doing. He's got a sniper veil up over the front of the gun. And Nick saw the tattoo on Leslie's arm. It's written in Chinese. I don't remember what it says. Today's special is chicken fried rice. I don't know. I don't know what it says. I don't speak Mandarin. But it was Leslie Lee, good people. And Nick knows I don't have any tattoos. So he assumed that was a picture of me. It wasn't. It was a picture that I took with my little winder, my little cardboard. Remember those old cameras, the 135s? You actually wound with your finger. Yeah. A little crappy camera.
Little Kodak portables.
Yeah, actually, I think that was like a 1 megapixel digital camera. That was 2004. That was pre-cell phones. Yeah, I want to say it was like a 1 megapixel camera.
Yeah, but it wasn't pre-cell phone. That was flip phone.
Yeah, no. This was a little digital. Remember, everybody used to have the little digital cameras.
Yeah.
Click. That's what this was. You hit the button, turn it on, the lens comes out the front. Crap, crap compared to today's standards, but back then that was cutting edge. So, anyways, Toby. No, it's not Toby. That wasn't it? Colby Dixon. I can't believe I forgot his name. No, that wasn't me, man. That was Leslie Lee. I'm not against tattoos. My whole thing is, if a girl wants to put tattoos all over her body and God made her ugly, you can at least say she's ugly, but she's got some good looking tattoos. And God made me beautiful and handsome, beautiful, talented. Humble. No, honestly, I never got tattoos because I was always planning on going and getting a job as Jason Bourne working for the CIA. And then, because people asked me, are you going to retire from Special Forces? I was like, no, I'm getting out as soon as I'm not having fun. And I hit my 10-year mark, and then I hit my 15-year mark. The towers had already fallen. I hit my 20-year mark, and then I hit my 25-year mark. I was still having fun. So I never went CIA. But my whole thing is, if you want to get tattoos and that's fine, guys. Go on, be on with it. That's fine. I just if I like a picture, I'll hang it up on the wall so I can look at it. That's whatever you want to do. That's cool. I'm so past the part in my life where I have to look cool and be awesome, and that's just not me. So. I suppose I could get my blood type tattooed, but they'd end up screwing it up, and
that'll be the part that gets blown off.
Yeah, exactly.
Big Tuna, shout out. Fezig. How you say that?
Good coffee
big
there,
Fezig?
guys. All right, I'm rocking. This is 5 Stone Frontline coffee. You guys know this is the same one I keep on my desk. It's because I haven't got my camper yet. I get whole beans. Matter of fact, Eric from 5 Stone Frontline Coffee, if you're watching, Eric, thanks for that 5-pound bag of coffee he sent me. Coffee beans. Oh, that stuff is so good. He sent me the espresso roast, guys. I grind that stuff right before I make it. 8 shots of espresso, a little bit of cream in there. And I'm here to tell you, This stuff right here, it'll. The cool part is I don't even have to work out anymore. You do 8 shots of espresso. You're at your target heart rate. You're good. You can just sit on the couch and your heart gets all the exercise it needs. Nah, I'm good. How about you, Steve? What you up to, brother?
Just enjoying the season, enjoying the weather.
Man, isn't it good? It really is.
Yeah, it's going from 55 degrees to 80-something degrees, like bam, with the rain and everything else. Listen to the grass grow all night long. It's like, Steve, you didn't cut us before the rain. No. You're going to pay the price.
My uncle from Texas, James Swain, wants to know how hard it is, how much it sucks to run and gun in a gas mask.
Yeah.
If you look at the regular Army's MOP level 4, military operational protective posture level 4, it is a gas mask that has a filter, and then you're basically in a charcoal suit. The charcoal suit breathes a little bit, but it is designed to soak up nerve agent, stuff like that, chemical agents. You have a hood because you understand most of it comes down. It would run off of you. But the problem with a filter on the side is if you're actually running and gunning, you bump that mask at all while you're yelling into your radio, whatever, you end up breaking the seal while you're breathing in, and it sucks. So the MOP level 4 that the U.S. military runs, it's actually not made for offensive operations. It's made for defensive ops until the area clears or until they can get everybody to an area where they can decontaminate them. If you're going to be running offensive ops, James specifically mentioned run and gun, you bumping your mask at all, you can break that seal. And you understand if that happens to be right when you're breathing in, you're getting contaminated air. So what special ops guys do, and I'm throwing this out there in case you guys want to keep this in your bag of tricks, is they make a fan pack that goes on your back. And instead of putting the filter on, you run a hose down to the fan. It actually has 2 filters, and it is positive pressure. It's always running. So basically your mask is always farting out air, right? It'll blow out through the exhaust and all, but for the most part, if you quit breathing, it's always positive pressure. It's leaking out the sides. The advantage of that is if you're running and gunning or yelling into your radio, moving, and you're huffing and puffing, it doesn't matter if you break the seal of the mask because it's positive pressure. It's always going to be pushing air out. Now, what that does, and you'll see if you look at videos and pictures and stuff, if you see a guy with like 2 round filters on his back, that's what he's running. He's running a positive pressure chem suit, and that's the way to go. Now, I didn't really have one in the military. Special ops guys, it was limited to just certain people. And I'll be honest with you, me being a sniper up in a support position, I'm not running and gunning. So practicing wearing that thing would kick your ass. Now, fast forward, I have the positive pressure system just in case I had to wear a gas mask here because I'm a freaking nutbag. Yeah, Steve's like, yep, you're a nutbag. But yeah,
always ready.
My assaulters ran those things and everything, and it's good stuff. It really is. MOP level 4 totally sucks. Totally sucks. You remember sitting in Desert Shield. You were at not Ali Al Saleen. You were at King Fahd International Airport in the parking garage. 5th Group was.
No, I was at
Air War.
I was at King Khalid Military City.
But same thing. Those every once in a while we'd have the Scud alert. The Patriots would always shoot them down.
Not always.
Yeah.
Not always. We got hit by one.
Did you really?
Up around Hoffel Bottom, and spent a lot of time digging bunkers, man. Oh my gosh! Finally, somebody got smart and they sent us a backhoe.
Yeah, one of those things called a C.
Yeah.
The Army Corps Engineers, they have it's called a C. They're made by Mercedes-Benz. It had a front bucket on the front, and it looked like the back should be able to fold, but it was just a folding backhoe on the back. And it's kind of like a backhoe, but it was part pickup truck, and terrible. It's not really good at its job, but the advantage of it was it could do 60 miles an hour, and that was the whole point of motorized and mechanized units. All of your stuff, including your backhoes, have to be able to keep up with the tanks. So the Mercedes, it was called a C, and it had the hydraulic lines for running jackhammers and everything. And same thing, we had a couple C's come out, the 101st. They just drove up to where my sniper hide site was, and the guy, because we could only dig down about 13 inches.
Yeah, and then you hit that hard.
Oh, hard.
Oh.
So that we're like out there with our digging with our folded E-tool.
Yeah.
Ting, ting, ting.
We would have the
pickaxe. Yep.
And it would literally bend the tip of this pickaxe.
Yeah, my scout team didn't have no pickaxe. I had an E-tool, and then afterwards I had a broken E-tool. And but then these engineers drove up, and they're like, "Hey, it looks like you could use some superhuman strength." I'm like, "Okay, that's fair." And he got out, whacked it with his backhoe, and went. Ooh. And then he jumped out, took that jackhammer, and he only had to go through about a foot, and then it was soft again, and he backhoe, and oh shit, he knocked out fighting positions for us real quick. That was Desert Storm, but still the air war. Wow, that was 100 years ago, Steve. We're getting old, dude. Yeah. We are getting old.
Yeah, but you know, it's an interesting point when you talk about MOP level 4 and the MOP suit, which was, that thick and charcoal. One of the things I was working on at the Combat Developments, we were using a water cooling system for the body, similar to what they wear in NASCAR. Because again, we're always looking at industry and say, what is industry doing to defeat this? And we find out that the guys in NASCAR, when they get in their cars, they have a filtration system, almost like a radiator on a car.
Yeah.
And it would pump water constantly, and you had to wear, we got them to work it out to where we could hook it up to a Camelback. And it only lasted for about maybe, 45, 50 minutes, but still, that was 45, 50 minutes that you weren't sucking, because it was, our rack sucked. It just, you can't, there's no way you can get around it. And it's really hard to understand what it's like to be bottled up in a thermal layer, and it's 110 degrees outside, and you're on back of a, FMTV doing, 40 or 55 miles an hour. There's no cover from the sun, and then everybody's like, traffic's backing up, and everybody's blowing their horn, and you're trying to like, go, 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 because we're sitting here, you don't want to get IED, or RPG. And so we came up with these suit systems. I got it funded down in SOCOM, and to this day, I was talking to a guy about 4 or 5 months ago. They said, "Hey, we want you to take a look at this body cooling system." I said, "Man, we looked at that in 2005, 2006, 2007. Here we are, 13 years later, and nobody's doing anything.
Yeah.
You haven't really, come up with a really good solution to that."
It's got to be robust, because Joe's going to break it. And Joe's going to break it right away. Big Fuzzig wants to know what got Steve to join the military. For example, me, I saw the movie The Green Berets with John Wayne. What got you to join the military, Steve?
I saw the movie, John Wayne, The Green Beret. I think I was maybe 11, 12 years old. We went to a Saturday matinee at a near theater in Brunswick, Georgia. And, once you paid your 50 cent, 50 cent for all the Saturday matinee, they let you stay for the first movie. My sister was ready to go. It was about 4 or 5 of us, but she let me stay. She said, "We're going to come back and get you." So I saw that movie, and it must have inspired me, because I never really related to that movie after that. I elementary school, junior high school, football, basketball, track, high school football, basketball, track. And at the end of high school, I was looking at getting a scholarship at Savannah State as a cornerback. And a couple friends of mine said, "Hey, man," because this one guy, his brother was in the 82nd Airborne, and he always come home in his khakis, you know, his blouse jump boots and his maroon beret and strutting around town. All the girls like, oh,
making them moist.
So my buddy said, "Hey, man, let's join the Army, man. Let's go airborne. Let's go jump out of planes." I was like, "Okay." You know, and that's pretty much what got it started.
He went for the Virginia. All right, that's okay. Matthew Dion wants to know if M855A1 is commercially available. It is not illegal for civilians to have it. It's just hard to find. Understand, Lake City is pumping this stuff out for the military because we have been using up a lot of ammo. So they've got to refill military stockpiles and stuff. But your best way to find it commercially is go to your local gun shows, and usually you'll find somebody there that's got a case or a can or you know, a little bit here and there. And I'm a big fan of M855A1. I was never a big fan of green tip per se. Everybody's like, well, it's armor piercing. It's not armor piercing. It's barrier blind. All right. The steel tip in green tip it's not necessarily hardened like your black tip ammo is. They actually put that steel tip in there to lighten they needed a longer bullet back in the 80s for the saw machine gun, the Belgian Minimi. When the U.S. Army started adopting the M249 saw, they needed a longer bullet for it. They wanted to stay with, because at the time we were using the M193 55 grain. They wanted to stay as close to 55 grain as possible, and but they couldn't. 55 grain was not flying good through the saw. It just wasn't a long enough projectile. So happy meet them in the middle. They come up with the design of the green tip round that's got heavy lead in the back and light steel in the front. The added benefit of it is it's a lot more barrier blind than your old 55 grain that we used to shoot at everything. That if you hit a car door, that copper jacket would immediately come off of it. Green tip does very, very well against windshields and car doors and light walls, things like that. When the military first started talking about going to M855A1, which was basically all copper with a steel tip on it, lead free. And the way the first article was that I read, they were talking about how this ammo was environmentally friendly. And I lost my shit. I'm like, why are we bending over for these tree huggers? And don't get me wrong, guys. I'm all about let's not make the planet any worse than we have to. But you're a mammal, I'm a mammal, and mammals will always have war. That's what mammals do. Humans are put on this planet to destroy each other. Unfortunately, there will always be, so long as you have politicians, you will have wars. Right? That's just the truth. It's not the military. You understand, the military doesn't say, hey, we want to go to war. That's not what the military doesn't do that. It's politicians that send you to war. So when I first saw the M855A1 with the steel tip on it, external tip, I was pissed off. And it's hotter, it's this, it's going to be rougher on the guns, blah, 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 blah. But then I started getting feedback on it, and I'm like, well, I've got to go try this stuff. So, and you can go back, you can pull up our videos on right here, well, not here, this is TR Live, but if you go to our other YouTube channel, Tactical Rifleman, you will see that that we've done videos comparing green tip with the new M855A1, and it is more barrier blind. It blows through a lot more barriers than the M855A1 does. But the biggest gripe everybody had with green tip was it was ice picking straight through bad guys. It was not expanding. It was just going right through bad guys. So we shot gel blocks. with both of them. And yeah, the green tip basically makes a mess, but it just goes right through, goes right through. When we hit it with the M855A1, the copper on the outside has more drag because it's fatter. It slows down and it separates from the steel tip. The steel tip goes right through the block, goes right through. But what that leaves is this copper projectile that now has a big hole in the middle of it. And that is a hollow point. So when you shoot ballistic gel or mammals with M855A1, not green tip, but the new replacement for it, guys, when it hits, once that steel penetrator goes through, it leaves that hollow point there. It just blows up. I mean, it just shreds my gel blocks. Again, if you want to see it, don't take my word for it. Go watch the videos. I'm sorry, we're all out of death row inmates to film, so I used ballistic gel, and you'll see it makes a mess of it. It really does. You can find that video in our video archive at Tactical Rifleman, our YouTube channel. Good stuff indeed, guys. Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. Really, I'm big. All right, Elevated Agenda wants to know if Steve will be teaching classes. Now, I'm going to wait on that one until Steve comes back. But yeah, we brought Steve out to teach at our Patreon course. Steve will be coming back to teach at this Patreon course again it's in October. It's the last week of October. So for all my patrons out there, patreon.com/Tactical Rifleman. I know some of you guys have already signed up for the course. When are those dates? It is October. All right, let's scroll down here. Thanksgiving. No, it's not Thanksgiving. I want to say it's 24th through the 27th of October. That is a Tuesday through Friday. And guys, it's going to be totally badass. The last day we're doing platform shooting from a Little Bird helicopter. I'm going to have Steve there. I'm going to have Sue LaRue there. Of course, Emery, Chad Mormon, Travis Hall is going to be doing medical. I've got, of course, Randy. You got to have Randy Worst there. You're going to have a bunch of the Tactical Rifleman. So you're planning on coming, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Patreon. Yeah. They were asking.
Couldn't miss it.
Elevated Agendas asking if will Steve be teaching classes? And
I'll be standing there right next to you saying, nope.
Why not? Why not?
No, I'll be there.
Guys,
I'll be there.
No, Steve will be there. Oh, you're talking about off the tower.
Miss.
Steve's last year. Steve was up on the sniper tower with Sue LaRue and
Randy Worst,
and there was a lot of hitting going on. It's just with certain people. Certain people could hit at long distance. Others just don't know what's going on.
Those of you who are coming, invest in a linear muzzle brake, please. No horizontal porting. No, none of this other stuff. Please.
Good time.
Back to the question on the M855. I don't know the source, but ATK runs Lake City Army Ammunition Plant, and they make M855 and M855A1. When they have an overrun, they'll sell that overrun to civilians. Sometimes I'm trying to think of the name of this one place. I think it's Cheaper Than Dirt.
Yeah.
And another one. Look for M855. If you don't see that, Google SS109, and it might come up that way. Sometimes you'll get M855 and SS109 without the green on the tip.
Paint on it. Yep.
Yeah, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So go for that.
He's looking for the M855A1 though.
Oh.
Yeah. A little harder to find, but not impossible to find, guys. Not impossible to find. Again, if you guys got questions, please just put them in the chat, and JT will send them our way. What was I getting at? I was doing... I was telling these guys that... all right, so... Emory has another class coming up, guys. It is in June. It is actually, I want to say, like the first Saturday in June, and it is called High Risk Concealed Carry. Now, this is not a CCW course for you to carry, for you to have a license to carry a firearm. It's not. We're assuming you already have the license or you live in a state that you have constitutional carry, fine. But now that you've got the license and you've got the firearm and you've got the ammo, how about we get the training? So it's, for example, if you take our Combat Pistol 101 course, that's a duty belt, duty mag holders and everything. And that is our introductory course for combat shooting. And I use a pistol because everything from here applies to here, okay, with a rifle. But it is not designed, they're not concealed carry drills. We don't do concealed carry drills in that course because you understand, you drawing from concealment, there's a lot of that stuff. It is, those are more advanced skills. You got to get the basics down first. So if you've been to our Combat Pistol 101 or you've been to similar courses, you think you're ready to go on and actually learn how to be a contributing member of society out there, because you understand that's who's putting down a lot of these active shooters is off-duty cops or civilians that have their concealed carry licenses. Again, the course is in June. It is called High Risk Concealed Carry, and you are required to bring whatever holster you wear daily. You bring that. Now, you are required to bring a button-up shirt. You are required to bring a sweatshirt. You are required to bring a jacket. All right, sweatshirt or hoodie. And it sucks during the summer, but the reason why we're doing that is a lot of the drills, there are different techniques for different types of garments, and they're going to go over all of that. You'll be doing drills on your side, on your back, fighting to keep your pistol, because it's only your pistol if you can keep it. Anyways, it's a great course. I've seen a list of the drills. I won't be at that course because I'm teaching a private course in Wichita, Kansas, but it'll be Emery and Chad Mormon, and it is a totally badass course indeed. That is in June. Now, in July, I've got 2 classes in July. First one is our low light shooting course, because everybody wants to shoot in the dark. Well, rather than showing up at the range at like dinner time and training to midnight and being tired as shit, and you've only got a few hours in, we're going to do it at because it's in July, it's too hot to shoot outside. We are renting the Louisville Armory. We've got 2 of their indoor bays. They've removed the wall in the middle, so I got my range wider. And first day is shooting with pistol and rifle mounted lights, white lights. That afternoon, we are issuing out night vision goggles, PVS 14s. And then the second day of the course is all shooting with night vision. And we're going to get into pine doorways, and there's a little shootouts there where we'll have UTM conversion bolts, stuff like that. Here's the cool part. You can bring your own night vision if you want. But I know a lot of guys want to buy night vision. But I understand that's a big investment. It's a big investment for a lot of people. So what I've done is I've worked it out with AGM Global Vision. They are going to give us, basically loan me brand new Gen 2 Plus PVS 14s, complete green bag, helmet, skull crusher, all the stuff that comes with a mil spec PVS 14. Now I say Gen 2 Plus, and I'm telling you, these Gen 2 Plus tubes are better than some of my Gen 3 tubes. I've got probably 5 or 6 PVS 14s, and some of them have got Gen 3 tubes. These tubes are just as clearer actually, because a lot of mine are so beat up they got artifact in them, and they're definitely brighter, they illuminate better. Now the cool part is they're brand new. You get to the end of the course and you want to keep it, you pay my discounted price. If you don't want it, you're like, Carl, I love it, but I can't afford it right now, no problem, they've agreed to take them back. But I got a feeling once you guys see these nods and it's brand new, it's yours, you're going to be like, Yeah, Carl, I can't find that price anywhere because you're paying my price and I'm not marking it up. So, anyways, that course is early July, and then late July, we have our high risk travel course. We teach that course twice a year, July and December, because it's too hot to be outside shooting. A lot of it is classroom, but a lot of it is outside doing surveillance, counter surveillance, mounted ops in the rental cars and stuff. And you'll be teamed up. And the good way to learn counter surveillance is to actually get out and try to do surveillance on someone. So we're gonna team you up, and you're gonna try to stalk the other team while they're trying not to be followed, and then vice versa. We get into how to pack, how to travel safely, how to act on an airplane, how to act in a hotel, rental cars, all kinds of great stuff. How not to get rolled up. And then if you get rolled up, we do escapology. So, have that right mindset, that if they throw a hood over your head and you start hearing them ripping tape, does it sound like duct tape or does it sound like packing tape? Because you understand those sound different, but you also set your hands up different. Depending on the type of tape it is, make it easier for you to get out. You'll get into picking handcuffs and making handcuff shims and picks and all kinds of great stuff. It's a good course, guys. Unfortunately, nobody wants to do the educational courses. They all want to do pew-pew. So the pistol courses sell out. Rifle courses sell out. But I want to say I've only got like 2 people signed up for high-risk travel. Guys, my personal opinion, if I could take one class this year, I would take high-risk travel. Matter of fact, you can bring whole families to this, so long as the children are mature enough to actually soak up the information. It's a really good course. It really is. That will be late July. Again, you can find all these courses at tacticalrifleman.com. All right. Rob wants to know if there is a way to pad the stock on his 30-06 because of a bad shoulder. Yeah, depending on the type stock, you can buy slip-on rubber pads. Put in the name of the gun if he's got a stock. If he has an unmodified stock, for example, a wooden stock, put in rubber shoulder pad and then the name of that gun. Google it, and something will come up. Honestly, though, you can buy aftermarket stocks that have got better pads. Your best bet, though, if you want to get rid of the recoil, is tap your barrel, thread it, and put a muzzle brake on it. That will get rid of most of that perceived recoil. Honestly, dude, if you've got a shoulder you can't handle 30-06, trade it, sell it, and get a 6.5 Creedmoor. I'm just saying that's what I would do. I have 2 30-06s, and they don't get used anymore because I have better guns. That's just me personally. Can you get a rubber pad? Yeah, you can go out to your car right now with your knife, and you can go to the back seat of your car and cut a chunk of foam out of the back seat of your car, and with a roll of duct tape you can mush it and then tape it to the actual butt stock, and that would work also. And a lot of my Jordanian snipers would put a folded towel over their shoulder, because I had them doing grouping drills so much that those boys were all bruised up because they're gentle and they just weren't used to doing that many shots through a 308 sniper rifle. If your gun's not sized to you, it'll kick your butt. It really will. It really will. I'll tell you what, we are coming up on 8 o'clock. I want to do a giveaway tonight. So anyways, Slide Tactical makes the TR1 sling. All right, guys, here is a TR1 sling. This is a right-handed one. If you look, This puppy is multi-cam. If you prefer to have a black one or just tan one, I have both of those. But I was planning on giving the black one to one of the local SWAT guys. And then the tan one, I kind of figured you guys would prefer a multi-cam one. This is my sling, guys. And so my sling's expensive, by the way. But you can go to slidetactical.com. If you don't win the giveaway, you can buy one there, right? Use code TR20. Saves you 20%. I think Spring TR use Spring TR actually saves you more money. I'll put it in the description under the video, guys. So this was a couple years ago. I was going to 3 years ago. I was at the NRA show and walking around, and you guys, to me, all slings were the same. The VTAC sling is a good sling. It's a 80% solution. Edgar Sherman Design makes a good sling. Blue Force makes a good sling. Warrior Poet makes a good sling. There's lots of people that make good slings, but they're all like 80% solution. So I'm walking by, and this guy from Slide Tactical stops me and say, "Hey, Carl, let me show you my sling." I'm like, "Meh, it's a sling." And it's an 80% solution. And he gave me that look like, damn, this dude won't even let me try. And you guys know I'm a nice guy. So I said, "You're right. I apologize." And I stopped and I squared off and I'm like, "Give me the class on your sling." So he starts telling me about his sling that he had designed. And I was like, I never thought about that feature. That's a good idea. And he went on, and I'm like, "Well, I don't like that. I prefer this." And he went, "I never thought about that. That makes total sense." And I'm like, "Right. And this part right here, I don't really like that. I prefer this, and here's why." And he went, "Nobody ever told me that. I like that." So I went on and on and on and on with this guy and shook his hand. I gave him one of my cards, a TR sticker, and I took my patch off my hat and gave it to him because he was a nice guy. Well, damned if I didn't get an email. "Hey, Carl, can I get a mailing address? I made you that sling that you told me about." I'm like, all right, that's a little weird. Look, some random stuff. But he sent me a sling, and I liked it, right? But it's a sling, right? It's a sling. So I liked it, but he's like, "What do you think? What do you think? What do you think?" And I was like, "All right, it's good, but there's a couple changes I want to make to it. I want to do this. I want to do that." And like a week later, he sent me another one. And we went back and forth doing this for, I want to say, about 9 months. It's like 6 different generations of this sling. And if you want to see the full display of it, I did a whole video on it. And he wanted my next change that I wanted done. And I was like, I don't have any other constructive criticism. This thing is literally the perfect sling for me. Now, I understand people like to run their slings a different way, right? Some guys want to run they want to run a single point sling. Oh, by the way, you can do that, right? They want to be able to remove it and wear their sling while, take it off their gun, or this part stays on your gun. You get out of the vehicle, and all you do is you clip it on, you're ready to fight, and then the next lull in gunfire, you clip this off, clip it to the front of your gun, and now you're back to a 2-point sling again. And so anyways, me and him kind of hit it off, and he reached back out to me, and he's like, "Hey, Carl, would you mind if I put your logo on it?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Dude, I'm going to sell your sling, and I'm going to give you credit for it." And so anyways, I sent him the logo, and it's called the TR1 by Slide Tactical, slidetactical.com. Guys, this is the perfect sling for me. I love my sling. I do. And did I give you one of these yet, Steve?
No.
What color you want? Multicam or black or tan?
I'm
all out of purple.
Multicam. Multicam it is.
All right. All right, guys.
Real quick.
I'm going to give away a black one or a tan one.
Look at that. Instant gratification.
I'm sorry, guys. You got to understand. I got to take care of Steve. I think I got another one here. Anyways, I got a black one or a tan one. Your choices. And anyways, here's what you do is you're going to put TR1. 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 Kind of easy, right? TR1. Just put a TR1 in the chat room. You can enter a maximum of 3 times. And JT he's got the software already. He's going to pick us a winner in 10 minutes. At 8 o'clock, we're going to draw the winner of the coveted Tactical Rifleman Sling. Guys, I love this thing. It's got the T-handle that's big, but not too big. You loosen that puppy up. And there's so many features on this thing. It's freaking crazy.
Prepper 101. Thanks for the info. You're right. That was the other company I was trying to think of. Palmetto State Armory.
Yeah, Palmetto State Armory. That's a good company.
M855 SS109.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got good deals on it. I actually got an email from them today.
Rob, in reference to your question about coming up with some kind of better recoil pad for your 30-06 because you got a bad shoulder and your doctor said it's probably not a good idea to shoot. Take a look at.
I'll tell him to put a muzzle brake on it before he comes up on that tower with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Take a look at skeet shooter, trap shooter vest. Those vests have a padded area. Okay, there's another company that makes a recoil pad that just slip on. Kind of like a sling, slip on kind of. It's kind of like the upper part of a skeet vest. I think it's PACT is the company, something like that. Also, take a look at. There's a recoil pad company out there that my son used. He got one. I was really impressed because I'm not impressed with recoil pad companies. It's like it's hard rubber.
Yeah.
Right. There's a company called Falcon Strike, like the bird falcon. Falcon Strike recoil pads. Really good recoil pad.
Is that the one your son gave me a piece of?
No, that was the gel.
Yeah, the gel.
The gel thing.
That thing was awesome.
And I forget who it was. Whoever asked, will we look down on you if you use a revolver as your EDC? Absolutely not. If you watch the show, whenever I'm on the show, I'm pro revolver. I bring this up all the time. When I used to teach at the AMU, we used to teach dependents on Saturdays, and I got the coach to get the revolvers that the MPs turned in, because before the Beretta came out, the M9, MPs carried Ruger 38 Special 357 Magnum revolvers. So we got those revolvers, and that's what I used to teach because it's easy, simple. Excuse me. So, no, we won't look down on you.
No, we don't look down on people. Here's the deal, guys. We want you to train with what you're gonna fight with, you know? So if you're gonna come to class, it actually bothers me when I'll have guys in combat pistol carbine and they're running a red dot sight, you know, and then the next day is carbine zero mastery, which is all about zeroing your carbine, specifically your red dots. And they show up and they've got a 1-to-8 scope on it because they wanna shoot a tight shot group because they know we're going out to 400 meters. You know, and the reason why we do carbine zero mastery usually between pistol carbine and advanced pistol carbine is in advanced pistol carbine, we start the day off out at 200 meters. And then you do all kinds of other stuff. But you understand these carbines are made, they're made to go way past 4 meters, guys. They really are. And I understand that's what the internet does. They're all 25 meters and in. I don't want to fight at 25 meters. I want to get the bad guys outside 200 where they don't stand a chance and I'm going to eat them alive. So I want you to train with what you're going to fight with. And if you're going to show up to the pistol carbine course with a aim point or an EOTech, that's what I want you to bring to carbine zero mastery. All right, does that make sense? In the advanced course, that's what I want you to bring. For high risk concealed carry, I want you to bring what you're gonna conceal carry in a high risk environment. And if your EDC is a revolver, that's what you need to bring to class. Just understand you need to bring speed reloads for it. Now, I know Steve's mentioned moon clips before, and they make speed reloads for revolvers. And if your answer is, well, I just carry 6 extra loose rounds in my pocket, that is an answer. It is. It's okay, but understand you're not going to have a really, really fast speed reload. So when we're doing speed reloads, that's the name of the drill, and there's that word at the beginning that starts with speed, you understand you're not really setting yourself up for success. But it doesn't matter. Again, it's not a pass or fail course. Our courses are all about you coming and learning the information so then you can go home and adjust your kit and take the drills that we did and start building the muscle memory, because it takes 3,000 to 5,000 repetitions to push a new skill into your subconscious mind. But if we adjust your grip on something or we change the way you do something, understand it takes 7,000 to 9,000 repetitions to change that muscle memory, to change that bad habit, or even if it wasn't a bad habit, to change one habit to another habit, 7,000 to 9,000 reps. We don't have time to do that in class. We just don't. So we give you the knowledge. We explain to you the why, so then you can make educated decisions on whether you want to do it the different ways. And then you go home and you invest the time, right? And most of those repetitions you can do dry firing. The only thing you can't do dry firing is recoil management and compensating for the trajectory of the round. You can do up drills with a rifle, but understand doing your holdovers to hit a 300-meter target. So anyways, for what it is.
Here's a really good one, which I'm going to let you handle. This is for Steve as well as Carl. What would you say is the single most important shooting drill that a person needs to be proficient at?
Most important bullet in a gunfight. The first hit. Okay.
Proficient drill for them.
All right, but hear me out. All right. So if the most important shot in a gunfight is that first hit, it depends on your situation. Now, if you're an infantryman overseas and you're carrying an M16A4 every day, your most important shot is that. The most important drill is that up drill from either high or low ready. But chances are you don't carry a rifle with you every day. I know I don't. I carry a pistol. So for me, the hands down most important drill is going to be that draw, single shot from the holster. Now, recoil management, follow-up shots, hammered pairs, control pairs, zipper drills, all that stuff, that's all fine. That's all fun. But that most important drill you can work is getting a smooth, repeatable draw. All right. That's what we do when we warm up every time we go to the drill. And it doesn't matter if we're doing barricade work, shootouts work, shotgun work, rifle work. We always warm up with pistol. We do 10 to 12 repetitions of dry fire with the pistol, and then we normally do one magazine, single shot from the holster. All right. We have steel plates that everybody can shoot and everything. I asked these students that just went through Combat Pistol 101, Combat Pistol Carbine. That's how, and understand we started Combat Pistol Carbine with M4 or AR, or carbine rather, because you can bring a Galil, you can bring an AK. I don't care what you bring. About once a year, I shoot the course with a 308 just to show that if with a 308 with 20 round magazines and a low power variable optic, if I can still make the times on all the tests, there's no reason why you guys can't find the tests to be obtainable. All right. It just takes practice. All right. So yeah, that's the truth behind that. Most important drill, single shot from the holster. Repeatable, repeatable, repeatable. Most important bullet in a gunfight is that first hit. First hit. Cannot stress that enough. All right, let's see. Got another one here. Annalise and Kyle ask, what would you say is the single most important drill to be proficient at? I guess we just did that one. I didn't realize it was Annalise. That's Kentucky Fried Korean, by the way. Annalise, those blueberry white chocolate chip cookies that you sent with your husband to the pistol carbine course were orgasmic. They were awesome. I mean, those cookies were awesome. I put them out on the firing line, and they were gone like that. I saved the second containers, and I put them out. I put them out later on, and they were all gone. I didn't have none to bring home to meow meow. No, they were great cookies. I appreciate you making them. I'm looking at Kyle. I'm like, Kyle's fit. I'm wondering, how does Kyle stay in shape with Annalise cooking these cookies all the time? Annalise, Kyle said he doesn't eat sweets. I'm like, your wife cooks the best cookies on the planet, and you've never had one of them, brother. You're missing out. You're missing out. That's all right. That's all right. It's okay. Our boy Hemingway, what's up? He has a question. I heard passive aiming was barely used in GWAT. With nods more widespread, is it now worth it to have the capability on addition to active aiming with IR? And you guys understand what he's talking about. What he's talking about is, he said passive aiming. Passive aiming means aiming in the dark using the actual sight on the guns and not using a active light source, an active IR light source. And it was not used much during the global war on terror because we're fighting cavemen. That's just the truth. We're fighting cavemen. And so all your Marines, your Army guys, everybody, we all ran D-balls, PAC 15s, PQ2s, all kinds of aiming laser devices, IR lasers. A lot of them had IR infrared illuminators also. And here's why. It is very, very hard to get your nods down. Remember, you're looking through toilet paper tubes, guys. It's very, very hard to get your toilet paper tube all the way through, all the way down behind an EOTech or aim point. All right. Now, it had to be done from time to time. It's kind of like looking through looking through nods wearing a gas mask. It sucks. It freaking sucks. So we would, no joke, just looking through your sights with a gas mask, we would have to run these really tall risers on our ARs, our M4s, really tall risers because we were wearing gas masks. We had to do that. We had a mission, I want to say it was 99. So we ran really tall risers. As soon as that Chem Bio mission went away, the tall risers went away because tall risers suck. Then the mission came back, the initial invasion of Iraq. Chem Bio threat was there, Scud missiles and everything. We had to mount our EOTechs on top of the carrying handles of our M4s. Again, tall risers. As soon as Iraq was secured and no more Chem Bio threats, those tall risers went away because tall risers suck. Tall risers fucking suck. Now, I know tall risers are the latest hotness right now, the latest hotness. There's a lot of people that say, well, you're doing it so you can look with your nods. All right, try it. I guarantee you somebody with a D-ball or a PAC 15 on the line wearing nods and you trying to look through with your bino nods, trying to look through with your tall riser, understand he's going to beat you every time. All right. So why is it the latest hotness right now? It's the latest hotness because there are certain units that right now have a mission that requires them to wear gas masks. There are certain units that require them to run a gas mask and nods and run guns that are completely passive. But understand, as soon as that mission goes away, they don't want those tall risers. That's just the truth, guys. It's just, I'm sorry if I'm breaking people's bubbles here. And I know it's the latest hotness, guys. It was the latest hotness in 2003. It was the latest hotness in 99. I'm old, all right? But the reality is, you take that gun with your 6-inch tall riser on it, go try to shoot targets at 300-400 meters, and you're going to find you're not going to group as well as the guys that do. Now, here's the part I love, is there are guys putting taller cheek pads on their guns to then see through the taller risers, which is completely asinine. Oh, and the latest one I saw, the EOTech that goes down instead of up to the side, it actually goes down because the riser's so tall now, there's actually space. But you understand now you can't get your nods down because the EOTech's in the way. I mean, anyway, I understand. It's pew-pew. It's the latest hotness. Y'all go have fun with it. But as far as the bad guys having nods, are there bad guys having that? But we gave all these nods to the enemy, guys. The nods that were turned over to the Afghan army were like Gen 1, the total junk, right? And a lot of our Marines were just smashing the hell out of that stuff before we left. So what? We came up against one guy in Iraq in 2004 that had a set of nods looking back at us. Now the snipers, we don't turn on the illuminators until we actually start the assault countdown. I'm not getting into the tactics behind it, but in the time it takes them to go 5, 4, 3, bang, all right? In that amount of time, nobody with nods, they're going to be like, what is that out there? Is that somebody pointing at it? By then, their head's coming apart, right? So, honest, you want to run a tall riser and use the excuse that, you're running nods passive because you're more sexy, and that way the ATF can't see you shooting back at them. Guys, please don't shoot at the ATF. You understand they are American citizens just like you are. And now, will there be a time in American history where we may face an enemy that has Gen 3 nods everywhere? Possibly, but it ain't going to be anytime soon. You understand how many people the Chinese military has in their military? They have got nods for like less than 1% of their troops. Less than 1%. They ain't going to see a freaking thing. You civilians here in America, my concerned citizens that we're making into capable citizens, you already are equipped light years ahead of the Chinese infantry units. That's just the truth. Now, are they kicking America's ass with cyber warfare, with drones and stuff? Oh yeah, 100% kicking our ass. But that's the politicians' fault, right? But the Chinese infantry are not a threat to my good old boys. I just had a bunch of guys come down from Pennsylvania, take classes. I've had groups of friends, like-minded individuals, come take classes from North Carolina. You know who you guys are. I've had guys come in as groups from Indiana and Illinois, right? The states where these scary black guns are illegal. Freaking nutbags. These groups of friends easily working together will just crush all these other countries that think that they're a challenge to the U.S. They don't stand a freaking chance. You guys are awesome, because if you're here, that means you're probably training with us. And a lot of the students that come through our courses, you guys leave pretty squared away. We had a bunch of guys this past week. They've been training with John Lovell, Warrior Poet, and a bunch of other classes. There's lots of good courses out there. I'm not saying just come train with us. If you talk to other people, they'll tell you that we run great course. And again, I'm not putting down other instructors or nothing, but you're definitely going to get your money's worth with us, without a doubt. That is some good coffee, guys. 5 Stone Coffee. You guys know the deal. I actually hit him up about getting a promo code. What was that? What was that promo code? I want to hook you guys up, man. Man, I know I got it here somewhere. 5 Stone Frontline Coffee. I want to say you go to their website and it's like TR10 or something like that. He'll hook you up, guys. He'll take care of you. Good stuff indeed. Good stuff indeed. Yeah, especially when you put a little bit of there it is, Patron XO Cafe in that coffee. Always makes it a little more glorious. One of you guys had asked last week who mills the slides on my pistols. And if you've got a Glock MOS or another pistol that is already cut for a slide, okay. But understand a lot of those, like the Glock MOS, it comes with a set of plates. So now you've got the pistol, and then you've got a plate, and then you got the optic on top of that. And it's awesome because you can run all these different optics. Okay, I understand why Glock did it. And I used to push people to do that because I didn't have a good company that was cutting slides. It was kind of hit or miss. Sometimes they did a good job, sometimes they didn't. And I don't say that anymore. I actually found a company, and every slide that they have done that I've had any access to, that's what I'm running my backup pistol, my church pistol, my 43X. It's not an MOS. It is just a 43X, Glock 43X 9mm. And name of the company is Danger Close Armament. And I haven't hit him up for a TR code. I think if you put TR5 or TR10, at least give it a try. But if you call him up and say, hey, man, Carl from Tactical Rifleman sent me, it's good stuff. It is good stuff. But, yeah, great stuff indeed. I love that slide because you don't have to have an adapter plate. You tell them what you want done to the slide. Now, if you want all the fancy cuts and holes and everything in your slide to lighten your slide, he can do all that. Me personally, I told him, make your slide look pretty, show off your craftsmanship, but I don't want any holes in it at all. I'm not big on holes in slides, guys, because that's how you get dirt and belly button lint and mud, and that's how you induce malfunctions. So anyways, I'm not big, even for EDC, I don't want holes in my slides. All right. We have picked a winner so far. Senest is the winner. SENNEST. All right. So if you JT or Manny, whoever, if you guys will put it there in the chat room, Senest, congratulations on winning the SLING. All right, not this one. This is actually the one off of my rifle. I was filming today, and yeah. So I took the sling off my gun to have it laid out on the table, nice and pretty. What you're gonna get is you're gonna get a black one or a tan one, your choice. I'll let you pick. I already gave the multicam one to Steve because Steve needs one. So what you do, Senest, is take a picture of your avatar, so we know it's actually you and it's not Ray Craddock posing as you. And email it to tacticalrifleman1@gmail.com. That's tacticalrifleman1@gmail.com. And put in there, send us, hey, you won the Slide Tactical sling giveaway, and tell me what color you want. And then make sure you give me a mailing address. I'll have my son get out in the mail to you. All right. Says Danger Close website is still jacked up. All right. My guy Manny is saying that Danger Close website is basically got some spam on it. So grab the phone and call them. Don't Don't go to the website. Actually call them. I need to write that down because they probably don't even know that somebody has got spam on their website. All right. Danger Close Armament. Guys, you understand they're not sponsoring me. So why am I even mentioning them? I'm mentioning them because they're good. They're the only company I've found that mills slides correctly, consistently, and I want to push you guys in the right direction because you understand I want to take care of you guys. All right, yeah, good stuff. Hey guys, if you're interested in getting one of my TR1 slings, now that TR1 sling is not padded. If you're gentle and your vagina requires you to be a little gentler and you want a padded sling, you can ask for the TR2 sling, which is the same sling. It just has padding across the top of your shoulders. I don't run a padded sling, guys, because when I go from high ready to low ready, that's that much more drag on the back of my body armor. So I don't pad my sling. But go to slidetactical.com, and I want to say it's Spring TR. I gotta look that up for you guys. Right? I could do that real quick. Sly Tactical. What is that, guys? Blah blah blah. All results. So notify you. Oh, that's that one. Brett. That's Slide Tactical. I don't remember what we said we were going to do, but I'm going to have to figure out what that code is, because that was almost a year ago. I know I've gotten another one from him. Hey, Carl, the March. Guys, I'm gonna have to do better. I gotta get you. I gotta get you a better promo code. I really do. I gotta get you a better promo code. Yep, I do. I do indeed. I do indeed. Yeah, I'll get back to you on that. But again, slidetactical.com. They make good stuff, guys. Good stuff. I go back to my notes. Guys, I actually make notes, things I want to cover, while we're waiting for Steve to come back here. Guys, I depart in the morning. Like I said, I'm going to Chicago tomorrow, though. I got a busy day indeed. Got a ton of stuff I got to get done. So we're not going to run. I'll tell you what, we're going to wrap this up about 9 o'clock, maybe 8:30. All right, you guys don't have any more questions for me. But let's see what you guys got. Maybe you've got legitimate questions. Nope, I don't have any questions. Joe Blow asks, any opinion on experience with BCM's new flash hider, Comp Mod 3? I hear good things about it, but honestly, I don't have any personal experience with it, guys. And there are people that will tell you that their muzzle brake is the best muzzle brake out there. Okay, everybody says that. There are people that will tell you that their flash hider is the best flash hider out there. And you understand, I could do a whole series of videos just muzzle brake wars and put them all side by side and make a video, and you guys would just glaze over, and you'd quickly click and go somewhere else. To me, what's more important is why are you even putting it on the gun? If you're not doing it for a specific reason, then a flash hider is more tactical, number one. But for me, I put them on my guns so that I can mount suppressors to them. So like I have AAC suppressors, so a lot of my guns have got AAC muzzle brakes on them, muzzle brake flash hider combos, and that's so I can put my AAC suppressor. I got a 338 Lapua suppressor, 308 suppressors, all this other stuff, blah blah blah. My newer guns, I'm running Surefire suppressors on now, so you'll see I am running the Surefire basically has two that US SOCOM adopted. The first one is called the War Comp. It is a 3-prong flash hider that's got part of a compensator built in, a drill to the sides, and it is badass. And then they have the SOCOM brake. Both of them will fit the Surefire quick attach suppressors, the mini and the SOCOM suppressor. That's what I'm putting on my guns now. Now, do I need the muzzle brake on there? Well, actually, I run the Warden that goes over the end that directs all the blast forward. Why do I do that? Because it actually makes recoil worse. The reason why I do that is because when I demonstrate drills, if the students are shooting from 4 meters, I want them to all be able to see. So I have them gather around sides while I demonstrate the drills. And a lot of times I will push further back to like 7 meters, 8 meters, and then I'll do the same drills, the same size target to show them, make it easier because I want them to watch me instead of watching the target. The hits or an occasional miss will still be there in the paper. You don't have to watch the paper. I'm demonstrating. So I run a Warden to direct all the blast forward, so I'm not beating the snot out of all of my students that are to my left and right. Yeah, so I don't have any personal opinion on the new BCM brake flash hider comp, mod 3, but I have heard good things about it. But you go to every company and they all tell you that their stuff is awesome, right? Awesome. Guys, when we were talking about the night vision, training to go passive and everything, I didn't mean to hurt people's feelings when I start talking about I'm not big on the high risers. If you want to try a high riser on your gun, go for it, because I know it's the latest hotness. I got that. And I understand. I've tried it. We had to run them beginning of 2003, the initial invasion of Iraq. We had to run them for a different ChemBio real world mission in 99. So I've had to do the latest hotness. Now, if you've got your own nods and you want to practice being passive, to me, the easiest way for you to be passive is a PVS 14. You can actually get a rail mount and you take off, basically you take the rear flip up sight on your AR off, the one right above your charging handle, and you mount that thing right there. And the PVS 14 behind your red dot, your aim point or your EOTech, you are now passive and you are crushing everybody out there without having to use an IR laser. That would be a much easier way for you to do it than trying to look through them with your 2 toilet paper tubes on your helmet. If you had to shoot, flip them up and use the PVS 14 on your gun. That's how I basically shoot hogs and how I shoot coyotes. I use a handheld thermal to find them, and then I use a Gen 3 dedicated sight on the AR. I run a suppressor on it so I don't piss off the neighbors as much, but I'm completely legal while I'm doing it. All right, JT's back. This one's from Manny. The Surefire X300 A or B mount. A is quick detach mount and B has the screw mount. What he's talking about, guys, is the X300 is a pistol light. I don't have one. You understand, guys, I'm not allowed to touch my lights here. We used to use quick detach. If you have a choice, my work gun has the screw mount. I take it off when I'm doing the night shooting class. I actually take it off during class to show, but you understand you can put it right back on with the twist of a flathead screwdriver. Your Leatherman, right? So my personal choice, I find that the screw mount, Manny, is a better mount. It's more secure than the quick detach. The quick detach has a slight rattle to it. Again, my personal opinion, what do I know? I run, and guys, the X300 is still my favorite work light for a pistol. A lot of people will run the Surefire X300 Ultra, which is ultra bright. Okay, more lumens. I got that. I run the X300V for Vampire. It has a head that you can go from white light to off to infrared IR. And remember, I run nods a lot. So with my pistol, with my red dot dialed down, with my nods on my head, I don't have to turn on that light, but I don't need an aiming laser because I'm actually using the light on the actual pistol. Feel free to turn that down, Steve.
Okay.
You see what I got to work with? All right. So, but sometimes you need a little more light in the room, and that's why I would set that X300 Victor for Vampire on IR, and that allows me to light up the shootouts, the cave, the woods, wherever I'm at. Same light I run on my, same version I run on my rifle. I run a Surefire Scout Vampire. Has a head that you can turn from white light to IR. We've had some pretty good questions.
Shout out to Slow Joe. He said, Carl, I want you to be my daddy.
Carl, I want you to be my daddy. You know,
I want you to be my dad.
I want you to be my dad. Understand, I don't know how hot your mom is, but I'm probably not your, depending on your age, you know, if you're older than 33, probably, understand, maybe I'm your dad, but other than that, no, I only have 2 kids. That is my son and my daughter, and there is 0 chance of there being anything else out there because I love my wife way, way too much. As far as an adopted child, could I be your adopted father? If the price was right, I don't know, maybe we could add that as a level in Patreon. You pay so much and you get to, I adopt you. I don't know, we could look at that. But understand that would be a pretty high Patreon level. Yeah, I'm thinking that would be a pretty high Patreon level. That's fair. I don't know if you guys think that that's a viable way for me to get money for the preservation of Carl Erickson Foundation. Let me know. Put it in the comment section. What do you think having me for a stepfather? What would that be worth to you? All right. Because you understand it's free TR classes for life. If my kids get to go to any one of my classes free of charge. That is some good coffee, Steve. Man, I can't get over how good that coffee is. All right, we just had another one come in. All right. Braden507 asks, Carl, I will be becoming range master for my department soon. Any words of wisdom when it comes to running the range and teaching classes, especially with new shooters? Yeah, understand me and Steve both, right? It's one thing to be a good operator, one thing to be a good shooter. It's another thing to be a good instructor, right? But even past that, understand the problem with, and it's not a problem, but the issue with dealing with police departments or military units or civilians, citizens out there, all of you guys, is you run these classes and a lot of times you have a wide variety of skill levels. And where I was used to working with, everybody there was tier 2 special operations guys, whether it was training the German SEALs or the Dutch Delta or MARSOC, whoever it was, you training these guys, they were all at this level and you're just trying to give them advanced skill levels. But now I have guys that show up, and even when I say, look, Combat Pistol 101 is not a basic pistol course. It is not at all. People show up think I know the basics, but a lot of times we still end up encourage you to take the other instructors, because understand, if you're the one running the range, you have other range safety officers, which are instructors. They're assistant instructors, but they're still instructors. They're there. Their primary job is to keep everybody safe, but understand they're also there to make on-the-spot corrections, give constructive criticism, and help coach these people along. And not all instructors are created equal. A lot of operators do not make good civilian instructors. So pull your instructor staff to the side right before the class starts and say, look, here's the deal. We're not here to yell at these guys. Job number one, keep them safe. You're allowed to yell if safety ever becomes an issue. Yelling is nothing but putting an exclamation point or two or three on the end of a sentence. Quit putting that pistol underneath your chin when you're doing follow through. Where did I hit? I no joke. We see it in class. We do. All right. But after safety, make sure that your instructors understand that yelling at them is not going to make them better. Give them constructive criticism. If there's a mistake and you don't know how to properly coach them to make it better, find another instructor that does, because you just saying your draw's fucked up. You understand that's not making the world a better place. You're identifying an issue, but your job as an instructor is to give them constructive criticism and feedback to make that fucked up draw better. All right. So, and that's why I love Emery. A lot of guys bash Emery because he's Jewish. The only thing Jewish on Emery is his freaking nose, right? But because he's half Israeli. Oh, dude, they do. People bash him here. Emery.
Really?
Yeah, they do.
Seriously.
I block so many people for bashing Emery, man.
Guys, if you're out there bashing Emery.
Yeah, Emery has become a great
Are you kidding
instructor.
me?
Great instructor, guys.
He is one of the most awesome guys.
Yeah. Everybody loves Emery. Everybody loves Emery.
He is one of the most awesome guys that I know.
Yeah.
Okay? I've got 30 years of service. Okay? 4 years in the 82nd Airborne, 24 years in the 5th Special Forces Group. I've met a lot of guys, a lot of what people would call war fighters, operators, etc., etc., etc. Emery Morgenstern is one of the most awesome guys I've met.
Good people. He's just naturally nice guy.
Right out, flat out. If you bash him, stop it.
Yep.
Stop it.
Dude,
he's got nothing but love.
Nobody here is bashing Emery.
Nothing but love for you.
Yeah, nobody bashes Emery here, because when they do, I immediately block them. If you're like, I subscribe to way too many channels. I really need to unsubscribe from some. Bash Emery, because I will right click and block that ass in a second. The first 2 years we had this YouTube channel, I want to say I blocked 5 people. 2 were Muslim extremists. 2 were white supremacists. And 1 had a fetish for my ass. He thought my ass was the most beautiful thing on the internet. But out of 2 years, those are the only 5 people I blocked.
As they say on the Avengers Endgame to Captain America, that's America's ass.
That's America's ass.
That's America's ass right there.
So, but now, whenever somebody starts,
not that I've noticed,
when people start bashing Emery, they start bashing Randy. I had somebody bash Randy. Why would I listen to an old fat guy? And the whole time I'm thinking, old fat guy. Randy's in 12 history books. There is a town in Montana that has a bronze bust of Randy Wurst and that mustache. I don't know how awesome you are, but I really doubt if you've got a bronze bust of you in a town in a state that you don't even live in. That's how awesome Randy Wurst is.
Now, I know you guys have seen this meme often, and it says, beware of an old man.
You don't even remember the rest of it, do you?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Beware of an old man in a profession where men die young.
Amen to that.
Randy just turned 70 years.
70 years old. What are you, Steve? 60. What are you, Steve?
Beware of an old man in a profession.
You're not a chick, dude. You're allowed to tell the internet. How old are you, Steve? I want to know, man. How old are you? When's your birthday, Steve?
Old enough to know that Randy Wurst, rawhide, worst case scenario, is one of the most awesome war fighters I have ever served with.
Guys, I'm not a chick. I don't try to hide my age. I am 55 years old. I'm turning gray on the sides because...
Look at that.
Because,
show me again. Let me see it again.
Yeah. What?
Woo-hoo!
Little gray on the side now, man. Look at that shit. Little gray on the
As
side.
my wife always says, with men, gray is distinguished.
Distinguished.
Yes, distinguished.
You understand? That's a fancy word for old. Old.
Yeah.
That's your honey trying to be nice to you, Steve. My wife does the same thing. My wife loves me. She tells me, "No, Carl, the gray makes you look better." Uh-huh. They're just being nice to us, but that's okay. That's why we love them. That's why we love them.
It makes you look distinguished.
Distinguished. So now I'm turning distinguished all of a sudden.
Time presses on, brother.
Guys, before I forget, I want to let everybody know next Monday, we're going to do the live stream again next Monday. Now, we're going to go back to Tuesdays. We are. I like Tactical Tuesday, but I'm gone tomorrow. Tomorrow, I go to Chicago. I know you guys still wanted a live stream, so I didn't cancel it. I did it tonight. Same thing next week. Next Tuesday morning early, I have to drive down to Texas. I'm going to be doing a tour of the factory primary arms, and then I have my tactical precision rifle course. Now, so next Monday, I'm going to have Steve here, hopefully, but also Sue LaRue is supposed to be rolling in, hopefully in time to make the live stream. So,
Sue LaRue.
I'm going to let...
Can I dance with you?
I'm going to let Steve sit here. We're going to put Sue LaRue in that chair, and that way I can sit behind this screen right here, guys. And yeah, I'm gonna just sit back and admire the jackassery.
What Carl doesn't know, and I'm not going to mention it, so you don't hear me saying this, but I've asked a certain person that we've had on before if he would join us this coming Monday.
Next
on the
Monday.
show.
So we're gonna have us. Maybe we should do this out around the fire pit.
We could do that. Well, I don't know. I got to talk to him. I got to work it out.
That depends what the weather's like.
I got to work it out. I'll just say that he's a former Delta operator.
Oh shit! You got him coming back?
That we had on the show, and he just finished his latest knife.
You're gonna make his ass drive all the way up here? Okay, if he wants to come,
I don't know.
dude.
I don't know.
We'll see if we can do a beer, or steak or something.
No, we might have to do it another one.
We might have to do it another week, yeah. Because I'll be me and Sue will be packing. We'll be packing.
So, like I said,
we'll save it for another one. Oh, that's good. That's good, Steve. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, anyways, guys, I know
the fire pit would be great, but that's up to him.
Yeah.
I have to ask him if he's willing to.
That's cool. That's
to
cool.
do that.
We've got for sure Sue LaRue will be coming in. He might not make 7. He might be just a little bit after that. But Sue did say he would come do the live stream, and then we're going to carpool to Texas. I got invited by Primary Arms. You guys know I'm a big fan of some of their optics, not all of them, but some of them. They make good stuff, guys. They do. Some of their Platinum Series stuff is right on the money. And then the Vulcan reticles, I'll tell you what, for pistol optic, that thing is just the most impressive thing I've seen in literally decades. So I wish that they would release the copyright to Trigicon and EOTech and all these other people so they could put it in the other pistol optics like the ACRO and stuff like that, because that optic, that reticle is, for a pistol optic, it really is game changing. It really is game changing.
Sheldon Anderson, shout out to you. And in regards to what we discussed earlier on the revolver about your EDC, I'm a revolver guy. My mantra is I can load this revolver, stick it in the nightstand, bury it in the sand for 10 years, and sit there. When I reach for it, it's gonna go. It's gonna work. Semi-automatics, because of the magazine spring, getting to that point of failure, and it sits there too long. I don't know. But I am a big revolver fan. If you ask me which revolver, I like the Smith & Wesson Governor. When I'm in the yard and around the place and out in the woods and stuff, because I can go 410 shotgun shells, number 6, number 4, 2 the self-defense loads like the last 3, or I can go 45 Colt, or I can go moon clip on the 45 ACPs. Now, is it an EDC? Probably not. It's big, but its power requires a big platform. And when you're talking about running 45 ACP, 45 long Colt, 14 shotgun shells, you're not going to have that in a J-frame size type platform.
Yep.
But J-frames, I love J-frames. I love the hammerless J-frames. I love the Smith & Wessons that are the J-frames that run 9mm, because you can run moon clips with your 9mm. I think that's just awesome. But, you know, each person has to find what works for them, what they consider personal passion. My personal passion is revolvers. Can I run semi-automatics? I mean, I was at AMU as a precision pistol shooter for 4 years with 1911s. I can run a 1911. I can run a Glock 17, 19, Glock 34, love Glock 20, 10 mil. But just for me, like walking around, I like a revolver. You know, I like the fact that my confidence in that when I reach for it is knowing that it's not going to fail. I mean, all mechanical things fail to a certain point, but at the same time, you know, I go through this whole mantra litany of unloading my magazines, reloading fresh magazines on something that's on standby, but I always worry in the back of my mind, is that magazine going to fail me? I've had, well, back in the day, you know, in the military with the Beretta M9. I mean, I mean, you can literally pull the magazine out of a pistol, turn it upside down, and shake the rounds out. Yeah. And as I always say, TR Nation, bet your life. Yeah. Because you only get one.
Hey, we got, so I got Steve back. How about some questions for Steve in the chat? If you guys got any questions, because we're at less than 20 minutes till. We are 15 minutes out from killing this thing, guys. So if you've got questions, I want to give a shout out. I see I got a bunch of patrons in here. I see I got Karen. I hope she's got Toby with her. They're getting repairs done on their Jeep, just like I just got my repairs done, and Mickey's getting repairs on his. Because we are first week of June, we are heading to the Appalachian Mountains to go tear our Jeeps up. My blushing bride Dana is coming, and we're gonna have us a great time.
This one guy, Jerry J.
J.
Colt Python, only awesome. Colt Python is awesome.
No, that is Jerry J. Smiley face crying. He is a former Czech Republic special ops guy. He was actually in the green zone.
So how does a former Czech special forces ops guy get a Python?
He lives in New York now.
Oh, he's in the States now.
He's in the States.
So
now.
Okay, I can see that. But being over the Czech Republic and getting a Python,
his whole thing is smiley face crying. And that's why we have this hanging here. Smiley face crying. The emoji. Jerry J came down to Round Canopy Parachute Team. The first year, me and my son went down there. See? Smiley face crying, smiley face crying, smiley face for freaking Jerry J. Jerry, I'm going to share this story of... So, Jerry, you know... In Russia, you do not kick the door kicks you. Well, Jerry, you know, he's from Czech Republic, so he thinks he's Russian. You know, they do everything better than the U.S. does. Oh, by the way, he ran a Mark 12 Mod Holland.
Really?
Yeah, in the green.
Jerry, shout out.
So he has actually a picture of it. It's in the museum there in the Czech Republic or whatever.
I'd love to see it. Jerry, I want to see the picture of your Mark 12 Mod H.
Yeah. So he comes down to parachuting, and he's showing off. You know, he has to do jump refresher with my son, basic airborne course, right? Well, I want to say it was like his very first jump. He wants to show off and do a stand-up landing, round parachutes, by the way. What he did was he looked down, and he saw the ground coming up, and he reached for the ground, and he locked that knee.
Oh.
He snapped the head of his femur off.
Ooh.
Yeah, right? Ooh. So,
Jerry.
So anyways, I got to go visit him in the hospital. And, of course, he and all the nurses were just loving Jerry.
Feet and knees together. Look at the horizon.
Yeah,
Don't look down.
Funny stuff, guys. Funny stuff. Funny stuff. So I'm sorry, Jerry. I didn't mean to share your war story.
Oh, here's a good one.
But that shit's funny.
Joe Blow, who wants to be your son. No, yeah, wants to be your son. Wants to
Okay,
him to
must
be
be
your
my
dad.
son. Okay.
He wants to know about the Springfield's XDM line of pistols. Okay, I've been meaning to mention this for a while now. Actually, from the beginning of being graced with calls, acceptance of me being on the show. Springfield XD and XDM line, I love them. I love the Springfield XD pistols. I really do. And everybody, when they first came out, it was like, oh, it's kind of like a Glock. But, everybody's like, somebody's copying the Glock. Somebody's copying the Glock. If you look at the mechanics of a Glock, Glock copies somebody else. So stop it. There's no, what is it, new something under the sun. No new idea under the sun. The XDM, yeah, it has a grip safety, but it's more like a Glock. Okay, fine. Yep. Okay, now, you go on your computer and pull up some kind of mechanical engineering program and try to design a pistol. There's a lot that goes into everything that happens when that slide works, the trigger system, the disconnector, the magazine. I mean, try to do it at home, okay? Springfield XDMs, they go bang, just like all the other SIG, Glock, Smith & Wesson, M&P, all that other stuff. I love the Springfield XDs. I have, I think I got a 9mm, and I have a Springfield XDM 40 that was given to me by Jay Johnson and Randall Worst on my retirement.
Really?
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
And that was an awesome gift. I don't shoot it as much because back then 40 Smith & Wesson ammo was
everywhere
and at a decent price. Now, as we all know,
expensive.
Yeah, we go 9mm. But the XDM, if you have one, enjoy it. It's not going to let you down. And just keep in mind that everybody is not the same under the sun. I love 1911s, okay? But I run a Glock 34, and I run a Glock 17, and I run the Smith & Wesson Governor. But I like my Springfield XD. I mean, I would love to have, Smith & Wesson has a revolver now. They're what do they call it? They are, it's not custom, but it's close. It's an 8-shot, not quite a J frame. I think it's a K or an N frame, but it's got the short barrel, and it's beautiful. I mean, just a beautiful pistol, and it's a 9mm 8-shot. Takes 8-round moon clips.
8-round 9mm
moon clips.
Revolver.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's now they have a competition revolver that's a 9mm that is 9 shots, but they only make it with the 5-inch competition barrel with the muzzle brake built in from the factory at about $1,700. But the thing is, everybody has a certain feel, touch, ergonomics with anything in life. Handguns, carbines.
Did you bring your box of woe today?
A box of who?
Your box of woe.
No, I did not bring the box of woe because I thought I wore them enough at Leatherwood.
Okay.
We had Kim Reed there with his awesome, beautiful knives. And I tell you, that knife he made out of the barrel steel of the M230 LF 30mm gun from the Apache. Yeah, that's just absolutely amazing. It amazed me.
That's cool. I wonder.
And,
so he just cut it up into blanks, and he's.
Well, yeah, he cut it, but he had to have like a super duper special saw.
I bet.
Yeah, to cut that steel. And then he had like half of the barrel in a little block about that big.
Yeah.
And then he, puts it on the forge and he beats it, and he folds it, and beats it. And those knives, I mean, they're just absolutely gorgeous. And what's amazing, which I found out on the show in Leatherwood, is he teaches classes. And he really doesn't charge anything. I mean, if you get in contact with him, say, I want to come over and learn how to
do knives,
make a knife, he'll give you a date and time, and you go over.
That's very cool.
And he'll give you,
very, very cool.
Or you bring your steel or however, he'll help you design your own custom knife. It's like, when I talked about the the Aussie guys, the Kraken, the Kraken knives, and I talked about the first time I picked that knife up, and you weren't here, Randy out here. I was like, hey, let's play with Carl's knife since he's not here. And I was like, oh my gosh, when I picked it up, it had the perfect feel, the perfect touch.
I don't think that's a Mod Holland. I'm sorry, I'm gonna break your heart here, brother. I don't think that's a Mod Holland.
That is a Mod 1.
That's a Mod 1. Okay,
Yeah.
He has a Mod 1. But
Yeah,
that is
cool.
Jerry's gun
Cool.
in the museum.
This is cool.
It's kind of sexy.
He's got the Reed Knight handrail. It's all good, Jerry. If you're in the fight and it's working for you and you're still alive, it's all good.
That's what we want. Yep, for sure. All right, guys. Steve, you got any parting stuff you want to cover before we wrap this up?
Yes, I do. The path of the righteous
While
man
he's doing that, I'm gonna go walk over here for a
is
second.
beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Greedy men. Precision Reflex, Civil State Armory, LWRCI, Arms. Blessed is he
I'm
who...
sorry, what were you talking about, Steve? Let's do this from the beginning, dude.
So you can read it? The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he or she who, in the name of charity and goodwill, shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. For he or she is truly his brother's or sister's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee them great vengeance and furious anger, those who attempt to poison his brothers or sisters.
I don't know about the sister part. Okay.
And you will know that his name is the Lord when he brings his vengeance upon you.
Boo. We love you guys. All right, we're going to give a big shout out to this week's sponsor again. It's right here, guys. Right, Infinity Targets. You guys know the deal. They make that self-healing rubber target, so instead of having steel plates, you can actually shoot this thing. It doesn't matter if it's raining cats and dogs outside. He's a cardboard cutout. The real Steve had to leave. All right, he said, I've got this cardboard filling in. All right. The cool part, 110 rounds of 5.56 per square inch. Just hit it with more spray paint. You're good to go. Anyways, you want to check it out? I want to thank them for sponsoring. I want you guys to support my sponsors. Get it 1, get 2, get 12 of them for your range. I'm going to look at getting a couple for our classes. They're a lot easier to transport than steel. You can check them out at infinitytargets.com. I want to give a big thank you to all of my moderators. Why? Because moderators are awesome. I really do love them, guys. You know I do. And parting words from Steve. Since Steve has left, I'll just say, booyah, Grandma. Shout out to all of my tactical rifleman family out there. That's from Steve. From me, y'all take care and shoot straight.
Incoming right there. Incoming right there. Incoming right there.